Good morning and welcome again to another Making Monday Matters. This morning I want to talk to us about the subject of sales. Yes, sales. Actually, more specifically, I would say growing your sales. Sales, as defined by the Webster Dictionary, would say it's an exchange of commodity for money. Exchange of commodity for money. I want to expand that a little bit more. Commodity is usually anything that we see as valuable, but money can sometimes vary as to how do we identify that. And the reason I'm actually saying this because I know that I'm speaking to a few of you who would be watching this video a little later that are involved in charities and nonprofit. And you may be wondering, what does sales have to do with a charity or nonprofit organization? We grasp quite easily what sales has to do with business and services and products. But any of us who are in the business of delivering a product or a service or a commodity, anything of value to a potential customer, is involved in some aspect of sales. You see, sales only occur when the other party is interested in what it is that you're selling. In other words, you can't really sell effectively unless the customer is buying. And how does this apply then to our nonprofit and our charity friends? You can't even give away things to persons who don't see value in what it is that you're giving away. Let me give you an example. Say that you are giving away used clothing. Where would you go? Would you go into an affluent community and try to give away those clothes? I'm pretty sure you're not going to get very many customers in that location because persons in that location sees no value. In other words, for them, it's not a commodity. There's nothing that they require, they want, and so it's difficult to sell to that, and I'm using sales loosely here, to that audience who is not interested in buying. So one of the things then that we need to know about sales is that if you're going to be an effective salesperson, if you're going to effectively sell the products and commodities that you are seeking to deliver to your audience, to your market, you must first of all be in the right place. In other words, you must have the right market. It makes sense. It sounds logical. But many times persons are barking up the wrong tree literally. And so I'm encouraging you to understand your demographic, understand the persons that you are seeking out, your, as it were, your niche market. Who is your market? And are you actively targeting them? Because it's no sense trying to sell something to someone who isn't buying. Secondly, relationship. It is very important that you develop the relationship with the persons that you're seeking to sell to. And not necessarily meaning that you know their birthday and the other intimate details about them, but simply understanding what their needs are. People are unlikely to buy something that is not satisfying a need. That's the reality. We buy things that satisfy our needs. And so it goes back to what I said earlier. It is difficult to sell if the customer is not buying. And so if you are seeking then to deliver a product or service or commodity to a particular audience, do you have the right relationship with them? Do you know who they are? Do you know how they would respond? There's a story, I think it is Sweden or Finland, one of those Nordic countries. But every year, if a person has, say, apple trees or peach trees and there's abundance, they would normally put a basket of the fruit out front of their house and allow persons just to take them. One of the things that was noticed in this activity was that persons who took the time to package the excess fruit, say into small bags, plastic bags, etc., and place them got a higher uptake. You will say, well, that's obvious, David, it's more convenient. But this also applies to those things that you are selling. Because if you are meeting the customer where they are at, if you are packaging it right, if you're advertising in the right space, then you will get your customers. And so effective sales, effective selling requires good relationship and speaking to the right people at the right time and in the right place. And so this week, as we go forward, whatever it is that we are involving, whether it's the sales of product or services, whether you are in a nonprofit organization and seeking to deliver to a community, make sure, first of all, that you know who that community is, that you have the relationship with them, and that they know about you. And so as we go forward in this week, let's be effective salespeople as we meet people where they're at, as we relate to them in the way that they want to, and let's all grow. The customer will be happy, you'll be happy. So until next Monday, happy selling. This is David Ince of Living Successfully Inc.